Good. Just holding it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. Here we are live. Spaceship Earth here at Disney's EPCOT Center. The experimental prototype city of tomorrow. Said by Walt Disney himself. I can't talk today. This will be our viewing spot for the next couple hours or so. We're just enjoying a lovely surprise Monday morning here.
It is. Oh,
Oh, what's that there?
you said the word lovely, and I was like, it is.
Uh-oh. What do I got here? What happened?
What'd you do? What did you do?
I didn't do anything.
Why'd you flip around?
I have no idea. Let's see what we got here. Okay.
What did you do?
I did nothing. All right.
Poured too hard?
No, I did. I just happened to. I heard it beep in my ear,
Oh.
and then I happened to feel the cord, and it was tilted upwards. So I got nothing.
It didn't turn off. Did it turn off?
The gimbal, no. It's still. Are we still here? Testing 1 2. Are we still here? Testing 1 2. Yes, Strawberry. We are live. Strawberry's here. All right. Oh, see, there it goes again. I don't know why it's doing it. Just did it again.
Yep. I don't know why it's doing that either. Can I see it for a second?
Yeah. Did it go in there the right way? Oh no, yeah, it's facing the right way. How much battery is on there? Is it still green?
Full.
Excuse us, folks. Having some. Yeah, the gimbal doesn't want to hold the camera all of a sudden. It's fully charged.
I think I have it on there the right way.
I think it is too because it's facing the right way because the cord's always on the left.
It's on there the right way. Now what's?
Yeah, just all of a sudden it wanted to just collapse. And I don't know what the different modes are either, so I don't know if it's.
I gotta figure this out first. I don't know. Yeah, it did it again.
What does it say? What mode it's on?
Yeah. Wait a second. Yeah. I don't know what's going on beside me, but it's. I don't know what mode it's supposed to be on because I've never changed the mode on this.
Okay. As usually, I just turn it on. I don't know if there's like mode 1, if it notified you mode 1, 2, 3.
I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna hold this for a second to see what happens.
Okay.
This lady sits down beside me, and I'm trying to do this, and she's like, "Oh, can you take some photos of me, ma'am?"
Well, okay.
Ma'am, does it look like well, literally, my hands are full. Oh, there it goes again. What is happening? But you know the gimbal was acting funny in the car all morning, right?
It kept turning on, and I don't know why it kept turning on when literally nobody was holding it. Here, I'll just use this since I'm not going anywhere. So,
Well, well, I want to know what's going on. I put in a different mode. Let me try this for a minute.
and it's funny because like it won't do it immediately. It'll like wait
I know.
10 seconds. But anyway, while Jenny is trying to attend to,
I think it's every time you move. Okay, I'm gonna take the cord out.
take that
Okay?
out. What?
I don't know what is going on.
Did you take it out?
Yeah. You guys, I'm so sorry. I don't know. Okay. Ugh, why is it always something? Anyway, Strawberry Field Fairy, hello. Uh-oh, he's talking wrestling.
Who is?
Strawberry. Very.
Oh,
All right, it's making me really,
here, let me
really
put it on.
upset. I'm just not understanding. Hold on. Look, there's one thing that I did. Let me try one thing here. All right, hold on. Let me see this. Okay, hold on 1 second, guys. I got it. Now? Oh, hold on.
It's probably just a case of the Mondays. It's not used to working on Mondays.
Oh, I tell you. I think it's really finicky when I put the phone
On before.
on it. It has to be just perfect or it does this.
So then, should we? Because
So-
usually we put it on before I turn it on. Is that what we did this time? Or was it already on? I think it was already on when we put it on.
It's already on. Okay, I'm not sure. Ride Tracks. Hello. Dropping a good morning. Can't watch right at the moment, but I'll be back later. Okay.
Should be here at least till 2.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
fingers crossed.
Till 2.
Technology permitting.
So come back. Keith,
Joints.
sorry, Keith is here. Hey, Keith.
Hey Keith, welcome back.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
sorry, Strawberry was saying Brock Lesnar versus, is that Oba?
Oba Femi.
Okay.
Yeah, he
Nice.
was. They were there. They were there last night. And for some reason, I don't know what happened to that stream last night. It actually cut off by itself, so I have no idea what was all.
Was Strawberry Field Fairy there last?
Yeah, Strawberry was
Oh,
there. Tony Otay was there. Someone else was there, but yeah, like it was just being wonky, and the chat was just not helping.
And then let's see. I love Brock Lesnar. I met him in Minnesota. Big guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I've seen him up close in Detroit, and you know, it's like you see a guy on TV, it's one thing. See him in real life is it was him versus the Big Show. So like Brock Lesnar comes out and they're like, man, that's a huge man. Then the Big Show came out. I was like, never mind.
He said, "Who's he? Wait, who's Brooke married to?"
Sable.
Oh yeah, that's what it's. Okay. Do I know who she is?
No, she was a Playboy model. Well, she became a Playboy model.
Yeah.
With her career, and she was the one that was doing all the real risky stuff
Risque.
when she was a.
Okay. Okay.
You may have like seen her, but you wouldn't have.
No.
You
Okay.
wouldn't be able to pick her out of a lineup.
Okay. All right. That's my wrestling talk for the day.
I mean, as far as that goes, I mean, you know who Randy Orton is, and Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, I love Dean Ambrose. Who else do I like? Is that it? I like Kofi.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Since we don't have any more of the, and you can't teach that.
Yeah, Enzo.
Yeah, Enzo. Yeah.
Like, yeah, Calypso used to love him too.
Yeah. Bada bing.
Bada boom.
Bada boom. Realest guy in the room.
This guy's in the room. How you doing?
I remember. I just remember Kofi and Biggie doing their cereal.
Yes, with Xavier Woods.
Yeah.
Bootios.
Listen,
Remember we used to want the shirts.
Booty, I did want the shirt. Listen, black men in cereal is all I want out of life. Yeah. That's I can't say that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Anyway, cereal.
Well, now we know what she's into.
I like cereal.
Yeah, you can't take it back now. That's in the YouTube universe. You better hope Fast doesn't like rewatch this. Like, excuse me, what did she say? let's put that in the description.
I can't talk on the. See, this is what happens when I.
Hey, this is why I like it live. Hot take. You don't get to do no cleaning this up.
Sorry.
Like and subscribe for Black Men in Cereal.
No, boy.
I'll just have a live stream of me eating cereal.
Yes.
Right in the camera.
Oh my god.
Oh man. Technology, the equipment's not working out. We're just spewing off stuff at the mouth.
Racist.
Just being honest.
Yep.
So it's acting good now?
Yeah, it's fine. I took the thing off and put it back on.
Okay.
So you're good.
All right. Well, let's see. Oh yeah, I gotta remind myself to look for a Bluetooth microphone headset.
Okay.
All right. So where am I here? Right here.
You got it?
I don't know. What was this? Oh, that's part of the legs. Okay. All right. Let me go ahead. I can somewhat see it. I just
Do it.
it might be quicker. I'm just nervous about knocking it off and we turn my over here.
I got it. Just hold it down.
Yeah, just hold the action button down. All right, it's good. All right. Woo. What a morning that this is. Once again, I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in to today's live stream. This will probably be some of the view for today's video. We're probably going to be live here till about 2 o'clock. We've already done one round of pin training where I will showcase. Park wasn't that busy first thing in the morning, which was a surprise, but not really. Business is starting to pick up a little bit, of course, as the booths are starting to fire up those grills. We've already had our, excuse me for a second, we've already had our quick lunch. We actually ate at Connections for the first time. Nothing spectacular, though. We just got the basic American cheeseburger. Since we were splitting the meal, we had to get something straight down the middle. I would love to try maybe the pizza and the truffle fries. Maybe in the future videos as time goes on, we'll do some more food reviews, hopefully. It's supposed to be about a high of about 82 degrees today. My weather app said cloudy skies, so we'll see. It hasn't been too unbearable for the most part. It's actually very surprising that our April's been so mild the way that it's been. I mean, we're literally almost halfway through the month of April. Our son's birthday is on the 15th. We have some big things that we're going to, well, I should say one big thing that we're going to do. For him, it'll be our first time. I guess I could say it since he's gonna watch our live streams.
Yeah.
We're going to be going. We're not going to be filming there as far as live stream goes because that's family time. But we're going to be going to Epic Universe for the first time. We're going to check that out. Clearly, I've never seen it, so it'll be very interesting to kind of get the views and opinions of my kids and my wife as they try to walk me through, maybe see what we got going on. Not really that. I'm excited to go to Epic Universe, but then I'm not too excited because it hasn't been something that's like made me say, "Oh man, I can't wait to go." It'll be interesting to do some of the rides. Obviously, hopefully we'll be able to do most of the rides. Like I know I want to do that werewolf roller coaster,
Okay.
but I don't know if it's like too intense for the kids.
Okay.
But we'll soon see.
We'll conspicuously watch a video tonight.
Yeah, because I know they'll probably want to do all the things in Nintendo.
Yeah.
Um, and then I'm pretty sure they might be interested in the that Frankenstein. There's a Frankenstein ride. It's a not soft ride. It's a dark ride. But we'll soon see. Of course, we're not looking. Probably not going to be doing the Celestial Racers. I think that's still closed. As a matter of fact, they went down for maintenance quite a few times since that guy passed away.
Okay.
And last I heard, it still hasn't reopened after their refurbishment, so to speak.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's going to be interesting for Wednesday. But as of this week, surprise, surprise, like today with it being Monday, we've always said we want to at least get a good week of live streaming in, and this might be the week. We've got some pretty good things probably headed our way in the future. So I believe, like as of today, we're live streaming here on Monday. I think Tuesday we're going to be at Magic Kingdom.
Yep.
As normal.
Should be Magic Thursday.
Thursday for Magic too?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think so.
I wasn't sure if you wanted to do Animal Kingdom or, well, yeah, because that's a late day too. Yeah.
Yeah, so Thursday.
Okay. And then Friday, kind of up in the air?
It will likely be here, but
Oh, really? You don't want to go to Animal Kingdom? And
that's up to you.
I'm fine going to Animal Kingdom. Because you do get a lot more, pin activity at Animal.
Yeah.
And we haven't been there. I mean, shoot, we haven't been to Animal Kingdom in 2 weeks ourselves. So
Say.
haven't we had enough black men in cereal?
I'm sorry. I
Just give me saying. My God, black people's cool. It's good.
This is the most racist
Sounds
channel.
just as bad as I would. Weather, please. This weather, 82 degrees, cloudy skies. Once again, if you're tuning into this nonsense first thing in the morning or first thing in the early afternoon, what would you say? 11:30?
It's 11:40.
11:40? Like and subscribe for some odd reason. Hit that bell notification. Make sure your notifications are on so you can be tuned in to any of our wacky, outrageous stuff that we do first thing in the morning. Yeah, I guess my wife figured it out. I guess brand new gimbal to us. These gimbals are apparently always very sensitive to whatever it is that we do. Apparently, we're supposed to put the phone onto the gimbal with the magnetic attachment before turning the gimbal on, or else it just doesn't align right. Who knew? It's kind of the same thing that was going on with the last gimbal. Yeah.
Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. You need anything?
Nope. Nope. I got
Just so you know, there's someone else sitting here with us.
on the far end.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine.
Okay. I didn't want you to reach all the way over and be like.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Well, once you're gone, I'm not. I usually just stick to my corner anyway.
Okay. I'll be back.
Look it up. All right. So my wife's going to be doing another round of pin training. We got here first thing in the morning. Pin boards, they were what it was. The very greedy pin traders, they make sure that they leave nothing behind. But my wife also likes to have the interaction with the cast members as well. And sometimes she does get lucky as she finds some of the people that are refreshing boards, things like that. Like I said, because we have not been in the parks for just over a week or so, due to our blackouts, it's basically just kind of catching up with everything that we missed, merchandise, things that are going on. As we all know, there's still the what's it called, Flower and Garden happening all the way up until about June. All right, now, sorry about that, Strawberry. Didn't want to feel like I was ignoring anything. Like I said, we're just trying to get everything situated with the camera here. But yes, very interesting conversation I was kind of having, I guess, with myself last night. I tried to do. I had to actually take the video off because on my end, my podcast last night was about 35 minutes, but apparently, according to YouTube, it only captured about 9 minutes of it. Apparently, we were having some. We were having some home technical difficulties. Spectrum, for some odd reason, our Wi-Fi has been going out guaranteed around 5 or 6 p.m. And it's like it's very sporadic ever since. I really have no knowledge of it sometimes too until I get notifications through my TV or sometimes through my phone. However, I did not get the notification that the Wi-Fi connection went out, so I don't know exactly what part of the wrestling conversation that we caught on to last night when I was talking about WrestleMania. As if you did not know, if you're not a fan, that's fine. But WrestleMania weekend is coming up very, very quickly. Actually, this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, is WrestleMania. It's the show of all shows. It's basically the Super Bowl of professional wrestling, where some of the biggest and best names will be showing out. WrestleMania this weekend will be happening in Las Vegas once again. So 2 years in a row that it's happening at the Las Vegas venue, and that also includes Friday Night SmackDown and also the Hall of Fame ceremony. Basically, a week full of professional wrestling from all the companies: WWE, TNA, AEW, AEW, I believe MLW. I believe everybody that's associated with wrestling takes full advantage of WrestleMania weekend because everyone knows everyone's going to watch everything that's involved with it. Of course, I am a casual wrestling fan, and now huge wrestling fan back in the day, very casual now. I actually do not watch it as it happens. I pretty much just wait until the next day or the next series of days where they start talking about it on social media, things like that. I usually get my recap. But since we're here at Epcot, there's something that I did want to address, kind of like the elephant in the room. Something I never really had the time to really express too much in videos before. But as we all know, WWE is, I'm sorry, the Walt Disney World Company, WDW, is under new leadership with Josh Tomorrow. And I'm not going to put all those eggs in one basket. I'm not going to jump on the bandwagon and say that Josh Tomorrow is going to be a great CEO because he's been around long enough to kind of still carry on some of the things that I did not care about with the previous CEOs that we've had, namely Bob Iger and Bob Chapek. I'm not going to say Bob Iger did not do a good job, but I think that I think he's being given too many flowers in response to what he's done over the past 20 some years of his reign. Let's just say lots of money being spent and lots of tickets and prices being raised, especially here in the last, I would say, 10 years or so. Not a huge fan of that. But what can you do? But like I said, I still have some reservations towards Josh Simone. I think that if anything, excuse me, I think if anything, the main thing that I would like to see Josh Tomorrow do is address the reservation system to see if we can either eliminate it altogether or have it be more of a carefree, good to go day for everybody, and maybe only having the reservations implicated when there is expected uh, increases in crowd levels for instance, holidays, things like that. I wouldn't mind having a reservation system for holidays the day before and the date of the holiday, but not necessarily. For instance, our Pirate Pass was blocked out the entire week. I think a week and a half for spring break and Easter crowds, which is fine. But it does it does make us a little upset. We're paying so much money and they're increasing the prices, yet they're limiting us to what we can and cannot do. And it stinks because it's many people many people come to Florida to become Florida residents. But many people come here to be Florida residents. Many people come here to have annual passes, and it's not like the way it was 10 years ago, 10 plus years ago. It was carefree. You get your annual pass, you come and go whenever you want. Now it's like you got to watch out for blackout dates. You got to watch out for this, and then there's different tiers. So hopefully, like I said, hopefully Josh tomorrow will adjust the reservation system. Um, Not going to say necessarily get rid of it altogether, but definitely make it to where it's more easier accessible to all people who have um, these annual passes. Again, as you know, there's 4 tiers annual passes. The bottom tier, which is what used to be called the weekday pass, it's now the Pixie Pass, doesn't allow you to come into the parks during over the weekends. That would be a fine pass for us for the most part because I don't really care to come in the park on the weekends. It doesn't benefit us for when the kids are in school though, because that would be usually the kids going to the park on the weekends would be the only time they would get to go. But the problem is that they also added a ton of blackout dates. I believe the weekday pass was actually like the entire summer almost was blacked out. There was like 2 or 3 weeks at a time that the weekday pass, aka the Pixie Pass, would be blocked out. So that was kind of a no-no. Then we upgrade now. We have the Pirate Pass. The whole family has the Pirate Pass now. The Pirate Pass was I can't remember what it used to be called before, but it was basically the like a mid tier. There was only like 3 tiers before, and this was a mid tier that had very little blackout dates. It's now the Pirate Pass, which has they've added a lot of blackout dates, and those blackout dates, like I said, are usually going to be like a week or so during holiday or peak season. Um, Again, don't agree with that too much because we're not necessarily coming to the park to ride rides or do things anyway, but it's just nice to be able to come to the park. So that's kind of a big thing. I have a problem with that. The other two passes now we have the Sorcerer's Pass and the Accredit Pass. Both of those have very small windows of blackout dates, and of course the price exceeds over $1,000 easily with those prices with those passes. Something that's definitely not necessarily something that we need. Family of four, no need for us to spend $4,000 just to be able to go to the parks during busy season. So. But like I said, hopefully Josh tomorrow, again, for the most part, will fix the reservation system. The reservation system will at least make it more easier to be okay with the Pirate Pass, which is what we have. Another thing is, of course, the prices. I would love to see the Walt Disney World Company tackle pricing. Of course, if anybody knows how business works, once those prices go up, they're never going to come back down. If anything, they're just going to offer a ton of specials and discounts throughout the year, which is exactly what Disney has always been doing. It gets to the point now where it's like there's always a special going on 30%, 20%, 25%, 40%. There are all these different numbers. But at the end of the day, it's kind of like if you're so busy giving those discounts all the time, then why don't you just make it the regular price? But obviously, obviously we know that Disney, especially here at Disney World, they make a ton of money off of the international uh, tourists that we do have. Those are people that aren't going to come as often, so they're going to pay full price. They're going to pay top dollar for everything, and That's what Disney kind of to me really wants to cater to, and it's fine. But I just feel as if it's gone in a different direction than when it was 20 years ago. Where And I do remember I was talking to somebody who remembers a campaign back in 2005 when the prices first started to go up to about, I think they went up to like 72 to $75 for adults. And that was the complaint that people were having. It's like, at that time, 2005, people who came here quite often felt as if they were getting priced out. You had the everyday average American or everyday average person, working person, um, just couldn't come to Disney as often as they could. And the gentleman I spoke to said he remembers listening to a spokesperson saying that if you can't afford to come to the Disney parks, then maybe it's not for you. Um, with that being a statement that was said back in 2005, that is kind of a scary uh, I guess, way of saying things. I hope that it doesn't get to that point for everybody. I feel as if it's already kind of there now. Hearing so many people that find it very, very difficult to enjoy a Walt Disney World vacation because it just costs so much. You can kind of see the aggression that people are having with the fact that they're paying so much on this Disney vacation, and everything has to be perfect in a sense. I was listening to a video the other day about people who are just saying how much in debt they become while going on a Disney World vacation. And I always will feel as if that's never necessary. It's never necessary to go on vacation and feel as if you have to climb your way out from your vacation, especially when you've already saved to go on that vacation to begin with. It's one thing if people are taking just last minute vacations that they couldn't afford, but these are people that are like, they've saved for 5 years or more, and it just took a huge chunk of money to do so. And then that's money that, obviously they could have used for a lot of other things, but they want to do it on this vacation. And yeah, it really bothers me. It'll probably always bother me because of how, I don't want to say affordable it was, but how realistic it was 20 years ago, and how in just the last 10 years it's gone from, I think I said $93 for a 1 day base ticket with tax, $94 for Magic Kingdom, which was the down payment for your annual pass. And now, as of right now, during our peak season, it is now a $209 ticket. And there really isn't an explanation for it. I've even told people before, most people will fall back on look at everything that Disney has done in the last 10 or 15 years, and that's fine. If you want to look at it that way, 10, 15 years, the price has gone up $120, and you can justify it by saying everything that they've done. But then you look at everything that the Walt Disney World Company did in the previous 41 years with only raising park tickets $80. It's just a big difference, big, big difference. But I mean, again, I hate to be the person, like, I love coming here. I would love to come here as often as I can. But even me, it's not even about pricing. It's not about pricing us out. To me, it's more like I will find other ways of spending our hard-earned money rather than just giving it to a company that's just going to continue to raise prices. And really, I don't want to say downhill, but some of the things aren't the same that it was before. Rides are breaking down more often. Even some of the cast members are not the same jolly cast members that they used to be. So I really just feel as if the quality is lacking, but yet the prices keep going up. And as long as people keep paying it, they'll keep raising it. You know. But yeah, like I said though, I'm not going to sit there and say that Disney will never price me out. It's not about pricing me out. I think that it's going to be more of I just don't want to pay that much for something I never had to. I never had to pay that much before. I mean, right now, look at what I'm sitting right in front of Spaceship Earth. This is the same Spaceship Earth that it's been since 1982. Yes, we've got some significant updates. Yes, there's been some things that's come and gone, but overall, if I was to mute this video and we were to just have a video, this just a visual of Spaceship Earth, there would not be that much of a difference of what you're seeing over the last 40 years. But to say that, at one point in time, you could come into this park for about 40, $50 for an adult, now it's pushing $200 a day. But yes, hopefully, like I said, I'm hoping that Josh tomorrow will at least, like I said, make adjustments to the reservation system, if not offer more deals towards tickets and vacation packages, making it more affordable for the everyday average person to come and enjoy this place. It's going to get to the point, though. I fear that it's going to get to the point where more people are going to just enjoy watching it through their TV or through their computers or whatever they're watching on, rather than actually going. And then you're going to get to the point where, like, I always think Florida always does this thing where they get so used to tourism, they think that they don't need the Floridians. Then, when the tourism slows down due to a hurricane or whatever the situation is, then they want to turn up and make Florida first. But by that point, you've already angered too many of them, I can tell you right offhand, about 13 years ago, being a cast member was everything in Central Florida. We've actually had people that said, if you weren't a cast member, you weren't important. Um, Cast members got discounts everywhere. Cast members show their ID. They get discounts at restaurants. They get discounts at, uh, like one of my first apartment complexes that I got into, I was able to bypass so many application fees and so many other things just because I showed them my cast member ID. Now it's like all the places that used to give discounts, no more. All the places that used to give, I don't want to say special treatment, but it just used to be something special to be a cast member here in Central Florida. And now it just seems as if we're just the everyday average person now. All right, so if you're tuning in, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel. This is going to be our view for the most part of this Monday. We're enjoying this lovely Monday afternoon as the crowds really start to pile on in for the Flower and Garden Festival. We've already done one lap around the park. Pin trading, about as good as it's going to get first thing in the morning. My wife's going to do another lap around. Who knows what we're going to do? Maybe we'll walk around just a little bit. We have about till 2 o'clock before we have to head out of here. So we'll soon see. My wife is pretty much a fast walker, but she's actually probably just going to be lurking around, uh, catching up with some of our cast member associates, some of our, I guess you could say, our friends that work here, since we haven't been to EPCOT in just over about 2 weeks or so because of our blackouts. So it's always fun to return after such a long break. It does feel like it's been forever, but literally at the same time, it feels like I think it's only been about 2 weeks since we've been here. Never gets old. Like I said, we do plan on being live at least 4 days this week. As of right now, everything should be smooth. We have some pretty exciting news. Hopefully, that we can bring forth in about a month or so. I think that once we get everything lined up, for sure, I would gladly just like to tell everybody the great news. But we'll probably save that for maybe next month. So stay tuned for that. Of course, hit that bell notification for any of our updates that's going to be coming pretty soon. Pretty big move for the YouTube channel, especially hopefully here in the near future as well. Like I said, today is Monday. We're here at EPCOT looking at Spaceship Earth, obviously on this lovely Monday. The weather climbing up until about 82 degrees is our high, but it's going to be cloudy. Our low is 52. No, I say that. Our low is 54, so a little brisk this morning, but it warmed up rather quickly. If it's not being picked up by my microphone, the wind is blowing, so it is keeping the temperatures at bay for the most part. But like I said, a high of 82. Cloudy day. We might have some weather. I don't think there's supposed to be any precipitation today or tomorrow. We might get some sprinkles throughout the week, but I think we're having a great weekend coming up. I think we're going to hit in the 90s coming up this weekend. So, and as an update, I like to kind of preface this every time we do a live stream. As much as we would love to do POVs and ride throughs, um, it really depends on what park that we're going to be at. It depends on the attraction. Because again, there's been a couple times we've attempted to do some ride throughs, and it's either well, I mean, it's because of the buildings. Um, our phones just do not have the signal strength. Again, I don't know what magic these other vloggers seem to have to keep their streams somewhat going. But we attempted to do Pirates of the Caribbean, one of our last live streams, and I believe that the entire Pirates ride was completely dismissed by YouTube. I think we lost signal all the way once we were in the loading area of Pirates. So it's very tricky to do a lot of that on a live stream. And like I said, we're just basically using our basic phone plan, which is it's AT&T, so it's expensive what we have. Um, so I got a little distracted by the conversation going on around me. But yeah, we're paying a good chunk of money for our AT&T plan. However, these buildings, some of these rides are again underneath solid concrete. There's not that much of wiggle room, and of course, Wi-Fi is always susceptible to droppage because of the amount of people that are all using the Disney Wi-Fi. Whether it be especially with peak seasons, people are usually getting their lightning lanes or making their mobile orders or just surfing to see what they can and cannot do. And of course, some people who are actually watching YouTubers. All right, now, one thing I hope that the Walt Disney World Company doesn't do too much after 2030. I'm hoping that they will kind of relax a little bit on new things being brought to the park. I would always be a component of saying I love when they bring something new to the park, but I think that it's just been an overload. Again, since 2012, it's just been nonstop. It's like almost every single year they want to bring something new. That's great, but I think that it's kind of like, it makes the last thing seem stale. Like you never get used to the new toy, um, because another new toy comes into play. So I just wish they would take a break on trying not to give us something new every single year. Let's maybe do it every 5 years or something like that. I get it. That's how businesses want to do it now. But again, it didn't seem like it was that way in the past. It's like you go there and then you come back 5 years later and it's like, oh, look at this. This is brand new. Rather than now, it's almost seems as if every 6 to 8 months there's something new in the park, whether you knew it or not. Of course, like for instance, Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin just had a nice refurb. That's something I don't mind. I don't mind when they update something um, old and giving us something new, but there's a lot of new things that have just been coming up over the last, like I said, 13 years. Ever since New Fantasyland popped up, they have been on an onslaught of just one brand new thing after another. And a lot of it has been a hit or miss. That's the other thing, too. I think that a lot of it's been, like you put a lot of effort, you put a lot of time into building these things, and then 6, 8 months later, either people are tired of it or there's a lot of more criticism about it, bad criticism, than there is good criticism, so to speak. But once again, I appreciate everybody that comes through and watches our live stream. Like I said, this is a surprise for a lot of you because we normally don't post. We normally don't show up on Mondays, even though we always say that we will. But this is the first time that we do. And technology almost didn't want it to happen. We had a little issues with our gimbal right off the bat. That was basically human error. Apparently, our gimbal is very sensitive to how you connect things, but we got that situated and under control. And at some point, I will be disconnecting my headphones, as I will probably have to be plugging in one of our fuel rods just to keep the stream going. I was plugging the phone into the gimbal, but apparently that just killed the gimbal. The gimbal ran out of juice on our last Magic Kingdom video that we did. I believe, what was that, just last Friday? But yeah, like I said, I appreciate everybody that comes through and watches all of our nonsense, especially those people that do show up for my 9:15, 9:30 live stream podcast where I just ramble, not really addressing most things in the chat, at least until we get like a profound audience for the most part. But I appreciate everybody that does come through and check out some of the nonsense that I have to say late at night. Like I said briefly, we were talking about it being WrestleMania weekend. I am a casual wrestling fan, and of course, wrestling has been very synonymous with professional wrestling for a very long time. Many people who may remember back in the 90s, one of the wrestling corporations, WCW, used to film right outside of Disney's MGM studios at the time. And fun fact, when I actually worked at Hollywood Studios briefly in 2019, I actually got to see the areas. At that time I couldn't see, by the way. I got to actually see the areas where some of the backstage antics took place during a WCW Nitro. If you are the casual wrestling fan yourself, go ahead and check out some old footage of WCW Nitro at MGM Studios. Some backstage. It's like the only time you can actually see backstage areas of Walt Disney World. And that's the other thing too. Like I know a lot of people do watch us from their desktops. Maybe they're sitting at the computer at their job. Sometimes they're not even listening. But we did get a lot of. I don't say we got a lot of feedback, but I have heard many people that do just enjoy looking at their computer screen and just seeing a view. One of the things I do remember someone saying in one of our Magic Kingdom videos that it's just great that they can tune into somebody who's just like, if you notice, we sit on Main Street for about 2 3 hours. That's pretty much what I like to do, and other people actually appreciate it. We've actually had a good chunk of people who like to subscribe and made notion that they enjoy just the view of the Magic Kingdom, just getting a view of Main Street USA. One young lady told had a in the comments that she does enjoy the fact that she can just have the volume down low and not have to worry about anything else. We can just look up, see the castle, have a good day. That's kind of what I want to do here with Spaceship Earth. There's a couple spots I like sitting right here in front of Spaceship Earth. And in case you didn't know, we are just inside the entry gates heading into Epcot. It's one area that I do like to sit because I do like to hear the commotion of the crowd coming in. But another spot that I like to have is like an off to the angle, just off to the right hand side of your view is another series of benches I like to just sit at. But it's a little bit more difficult to get a good view over there, as this particular bench I'm sitting at has a nice little armrest for the gimbal that I can also lean up on. And this is actually a good spot if there was to be any temperature, any rain, or any weather. I would still be under an awning and pretty much protected. Also keeps me away from a lot of the copyrighted music that's located inside of Epcot. Of course, on the other side of Spaceship Earth, you get closer to the Encanto stage show that happens throughout the day. I've definitely been flagged by going over there. Moana's Journey of Water, that's also another place that we've gotten flagged for. So, yeah, I try to just keep it neutral to one space for the most part, especially for people that do like to go back and just watch a live stream. Spaceship Earth as people are going in with a little bit of commentary in between. And of course, we do encourage everybody to chat as well. Oh, so I've just now catch up to that. Antonio Tower and Catherine Looney. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Epcot is being good. It's, like I said, 82 degrees. We've got a nice little breeze going through. And Tony, let me know. Are you officially now? I thought I may have because I had my voiceover on, so I wasn't sure if this was what I was hearing. Tony Otara, are you actually trying to apply to become a cast member in one of our programs? If that's what I heard, I cannot remember if that was between you or somebody else at the time. But that is very exciting. But yeah, Epcot's been pretty good today. We've already done one round of around World Showcase doing some pin trading. Got some pretty. I think we got some pretty good pins. Of course, it was just to for the most part, we were just here taking in what we've missed over the past week. My wife is walking around Epcot one more time to see what new pins might have been refreshed. There's actually going to be a major pin drop, I think, tomorrow. We're going to be at the Magic Kingdom. No telling if we're actually going to be, I don't think we're going to be getting involved in that because pin traders are monsters nowadays. And then just before we started our live stream, we did get a quick bite to eat. Nothing impressive. We just shared the American bacon cheeseburger from the Connections Cafe. I will say though, that was probably the burger was, the burger was what it was. It's a burger. But those fries, of course, we got there as soon as the place opened, so the fries were fresh. Um, very, very good for very, very good for the most part as far as Walt Disney World fries go. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Tony. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, that's a bummer because like I can kind of feel that pain too because in case anybody did not know or missed it, I believe what's it been? It's been I think it's been 2 weeks now. Tuesday, a couple weeks ago, Disney unfortunately informed me that they just couldn't find anything for me. Um, I'm trying not to be bitter about that because I honestly think there's plenty of things that I can do. I understand the legal liabilities that come along with it, but I can work with anything. I can work anywhere, and I can work with anybody. So I kind of I feel it when you have so much anticipation, so much hope for doing, obviously what people love to do, and not being able to do it. But I will say this though too, it seems that Disney's going through a weird time. I believe I heard that they're going to be letting go 1,000 people if they haven't already. I'm not sure where those 1,000 people are going to come from. I would say it's more than likely going to be from corporate standpoints. But big thing, the big thing is big thing I think is that they're probably going to be relaxing some of the hiring processes that they do. And I don't know how the college program works necessarily, whether they take in so many people and they could cut those numbers down. But I think that they're due to the economic situations going on all around the world. I think that they're busy, and it's going to be one of those big companies that takes a step back from hiring anybody and everybody for the most part. I mean, right now it's even hard. I've heard it's hard for some of the current cast members. um, I've heard so many cast members saying that they're having problems getting hours. Oh, the one. Okay, so I wasn't really sure. So 1,000 people will be let go from the stream. That does make sense because there was a huge loss in streaming. I think in 2024, 2023, 2024, they had some really bad numbers with their streaming services. And I think it was personally, I think it's because they keep raising the prices. And realistically, like I know for a fact, they could add all the stuff in the world. I barely ever watch it. I probably watch the same 5 or 6 shows every single day, and then I'll rewatch it all over again. So I think a lot of people are just kind of getting upset with the fact that you're raising prices. You're giving us more content, but it's content that nobody asked for. Um, However, we just started. We were anticipating the show, but if you haven't ever heard of The Handmaid's Tale, the new, I guess you could say the new version of the show called The New Testaments is streaming now on Disney Plus and via Hulu. Uh, Very big fans of the premise of the show. So if you haven't tuned that in, tune out for that. However, just be advised it is TVMA, so it's very strong language and very difficult situations for the most part. But yeah, I really wish that you know I don't know it's like I have so many ideas on how to fix certain things, and you just never know what sticks. But I think that they did kind of go a little bit overboard with a lot of the purchasing that they did, buying 20th Century Fox or Marvel. And I know a lot of this stuff did pay back on the end, but it just seemed like big ticket items that only led to really just equaling out to the same. There was no profit at the end of the day. And as far as the streaming platforms go, I mean that's going to be a big one because now that we're having so much being done with AI, it's only a matter of time before a lot of more workers are going to start to be more disposable at the end of the day. Except for, of course, entry level. Those cast members that work the attractions, that work the food and beverage stations. I mean, that's going to be very hard to replace because of the magnitude and how proficient that it has to be. But it is sad nonetheless. And yes, Tony, I really, because I mean, it's Tony Tower. How could Tony Tower not want to work the Tower of Terror? I've actually seen some of your videos too. Yes, you love the Tower of Terror. And that's what I love about most people. Like, if they're going to have Disney content, you have to love Disney. You have to love Disney. And I think that a lot of, and I don't want to ruffle any feathers, but it seems as if about 80% of the people that I see that want to be content creators for Disney or Universal Studios, they're only doing it because they see it as a paycheck. They see it as, oh, people will pay me to do this, that, and the other. No one really loves to do what they do, or no one loves coming here on a daily basis. And just, like, I mean, yeah, we were cast members. I've wanted to be a cast member since I was young. Jenny didn't get to experience Disney until she was an adult. and then all she wanted to do was work for Disney. And like we run across people that we could just tell you don't want to be here. They just want to have it on the have it on the resume. I've watched quite a few people recently, people that want to, they want to be Disney content creators, but they don't know. Like, it's really just they just want to do it because they see someone else do it. They see someone that might make money on it, and then you can kind of tell how they act about it. You don't respect the product, you don't respect the environment. Um, I would even say a lot of it they're kind of superficial when it comes to how they want to treat cast members. Being nice to them when they really don't care. I mean, and there are a handful of people. For instance, even though not partnered up with them in any way, so I don't want people to think that I'm, trying to like buddy up to the system. But John, Fun to Be Free, from my understanding, he was a cast member over there at Disneyland at one point in time. To me, that's automatically right there. Like that's automatic acceptance. Like you're a cast member, you love the product, you love what you did, and now you're showcasing that love from a different standpoint. So probably one of the very few people that I could tolerate and watch. Because again, there's a natural appreciation for Walt Disney World, which is what I think a lot of live streamers are lacking. And I think that's kind of like why I would love to be able to get I would love to be able to get out to more people. Hold on one second. Okay. I would love to get out there to more people that actually love the product, that don't necessarily feel as if they have to get on a ride every day, or just like, for instance, I enjoy sitting on a park bench and just taking in the ambiance, the atmosphere. And if people can get a good view of Spaceship Earth or a good view of the Magic Kingdom, that's all it takes. Yeah, and I think the other thing too is, I think the biggest problem is, and I will always say this: people probably won't like it if I were to speak my mind. I don't want to say that my criticism, if I ever have any criticism towards Walt Disney World Company, it's not because of anything malicious. It's because I know this place can be better. I know this place has been better. Still a great place to be, still a great place to work. I just feel as if there needs to be. I think there's too many people that like to sugarcoat things and, let's just say, influence, make it seem like it's the best thing ever, without really saying like, hey, popcorn doesn't need to be $6 and 25 cents. I should be paying $7 for vitamin water. And then justifying it by saying, oh, it's a theme park premium, or you're paying because it's the theme park. It's like, no, you're paying it because they know that you won't want to get in your car and drive to go get the item yourself. And again, that's how I grew up. Man, my dad, that's what we did. If it's lunchtime, my dad had no issues getting back in our car, going to a restaurant off property, and then coming back later in the day. It wasn't that big of a deal. But too many people fall in love with the convenience. And I think that now, even more, with everything that's been built around the Magic Kingdom, I mean, there's so many, I would say there's so much growth in Florida. It's ridiculous. And now there's so much that's behind the Magic Kingdom. Magic Kingdom was nothing more than just grassy area, just conservation. Not I would say conservation stage, conservation area, but just areas for just nature. And now they've built houses, they've built restaurants, things. I mean, there's literally like convenience stores, literally 10 minutes away from the backside of Disney. Not even the backside of Magic Kingdom, when it used to be 30 minutes away. Yeah, but yeah, yeah. And even still, like even French fries. French fries. I think a small thing of French fries that would only be about $1 or something like that anywhere else. It's like 6.99. Now, granted, some of the fries are probably really really good. But again, it's like it's going to get to the point where it's a 6.99 now. It'll be 8.95 another day, and then you'll be looking at $10 for a side of fries. Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like that's the criticism that I think more people need to have instead of just going with it, fight back against it, refuse to pay it. I mean, again, like I said, I remember when spring rolls were a bit. No one knew about spring rolls in the Magic Kingdom, and at that time, at that point, I was working at the Magic Kingdom, so this had been about. I was at Pirates when I think I first heard about them. So they were talking about 2014, 2016 when I first heard about them. There was a little popcorn stand just outside of let's say just around where the Jungle Cruise was, and that's where the original spring rolls used to sell. You used to get three spring rolls for like $5.99. Now I think we just checked the other day. I think it was like two spring rolls for like $10 or like $8.95, and it's just like what the heck? And really, it's because at one point everybody made it seem to be the best popular thing. It hit its popularity peak, and now it's like it's just there. And it only gets worse for the resorts. I mean, I think there was some sticker shock one time because I grew up where all-star resorts were like 69, $79 a night. I think there was sticker shock one time when we quoted, without using any discounts, we were given a total of like $221 for the all-star resorts, and I was just like, "Where's the value? I'll just stay at an Airbnb." If I mean I'm going to get my Disney fix one way or the other, so I'll stay at Airbnb that's probably going to be like $100 a night, and I got a full house with a pool, rather than spending $200 for two beds in a tight space. You know, but again, it's like that's the criticism that needs to be made for I would say enough people in the Disney upper management to kind of get a clue. But people, as long as people keep paying it, they'll never change their ways. And that's something that these other live streamers, these other YouTubers probably won't say, or they don't want to say. It's not about. I wouldn't think of it as it's the hand that biting the hand that feeds you. It's more like like okay, it doesn't need to be this way. It never was this way before. I know the term saying Walt Disney will be rolling over in his grave. It's such an overused term, but I think it's very accurate compared to what everything that this company's been doing ever since they really eradicated the Walt Disney name and family from the product itself. Hey, Mr. Jerry. Yes, we're having a glorious day here at EPCOT. It's a lovely, I would say it's definitely calling into the 80s now. I would say it's probably, if I had to guess, maybe a 77, 78 degrees right now. Cloudy day so far from my weather app, but it's going to be a high of 82. So it's a lot better than the 54, 56 that it was this morning. We're going to be sitting right here, Epcot Center, till about 2 o'clock or so. It's a Monday, so our kids have a normal day. Like I said, we do plan on having some extensive live streams this week. The game plan is Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Tuesday and Thursday will probably be both Magic Kingdom days. I believe our kids have rehearsals late, so we may be there for the 3 o'clock parade, of course, technology permitting. Of course, hit that bell notification so that you can be tuned into that. If I had to guess, obviously today we started. I wanted to start a little bit early, but I don't want to test the outer limits of our technology. I am using my personal phone, unfortunately, until better equipment could come our way. With that being said, like and subscribe. Every subscriber counts. Every like and every view does count towards the ad revenue, which I am very happy to see. We've had some increases in that. It's not always about the super chats. It's not always about putting it in your Venmo or your PayPal. Just the views and just the conversation will do just well. I think we did pretty good with our ad revenue for January and February. For some reason, I think it said March is still tallying up because actually, thanks to a couple of our lovely viewers, we actually were able to get some of our first ever super chats in March. I know for a fact that Casper Monique, our moderator, she contributed to the channel, so I would like to thank her first and foremost for that, along with the Queen, who joined us for one day, and also we had, I believe, one person's name was P. Sweezy, and I believe the other person's name was Alan. Forgive me, I am so bad with names sometimes. But that was a very good month that we were having for March, and hopefully April will continue. Like I said, had to take a little step back from our blockouts, but we're hoping to get back on track a little bit more. I do want to at least do as much live streaming as I can, whether it's during the day or if any of you tuned in to some of my evening chat. Um, Sometimes that's just going to be me rambling. So forgive me if I didn't address anybody that was in the comments the last couple times. It's just kind of like off topic, not necessarily Disney content. We like last night I did a short thing on professional wrestling, even though I do believe I got cut off due to some connection issues at the house. Spectrum, thanks Spectrum. But I would like to try to do as many things to keep up with the algorithm as possible before we start filming some regular content. Now, let me know if you are interested in some of our regular content. Do you prefer just like ambiance views? Because I know one of the segments I want to do is people watching, where every Wednesday we'll take the camera and we'll just film the crowd chatter and everything like that. That's just something that I like to do, being an annual pass holder at Floridian. But if it's something that you like to do as well, let me know. Or if you just like to see, like I know a lot of people do like walkthroughs, and a lot of people have just other general videos with no speaking. But I kind of feel as if some people they just like to have the conversation as well. I actually like to hear people. Well, mainly because of me being blind, I do like to hear the conversation that goes on in people's live streams as well, or I should say, in people's videos in a sense. Tiki Tiki, yeah. Welcome back, Tiki. We're just having a nice little chilling out day, relaxing right here, right outside the gates of EPCOT, which, ironically, as many times I've heard people refer to it as the experimental prototype community of tomorrow. When we got here, the park had just opened up. They did the big grand opening musical intro, and they actually played the actual words spoken from Walt Disney. And he says the experimental uh, city of tomorrow. I felt as if hearing Walt. I mean, I know I probably heard him say that before in the special, but hearing that voice say "City of Tomorrow," and it's kind of like, huh? They tried to say "community" all this time, and the man actually said "city." Why are we trying to change history, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, see, okay. Then that makes sense. Okay, so like I feel as if I know the original concept of Epcot was to be a city. It was supposed to be kind of directly for cast members um, and everybody to work inside the community. So, and I love that. I love the model that they have over there at the People Mover. And I really feel as if that's one thing that I really wish the Walt Disney World Company would officially do is giving the cast members and give everybody that loves Disney the actual feel of being there, making a city and also a community at the same time. So, but yes, hold on. Let me go back to see what else. What did I just see here? Oh, so here's the thing about. I'm so happy that you said that, Tiki Man. Um, I hold on one second here. Okay, I got caught up in going through other people's videos. There was a couple people that they do some streaming or they do some walkthroughs of Universal Studios and the resorts. And in the description, I believe it was something about treadmill and biking. And I thought to myself, you know what, that would be interesting if that was a thing. And I never really picked up on that type of stuff because I never had any of those devices that do that, or never even thought about it with the treadmill. But yeah, it goes back to like, is it better without the commentary and just the ambiance, which is no big deal. We do so much walking around this park. It would be no big deal for, especially like my wife, if I'm not tagging along with her, if she wanted to just take our small little pocket camera and just kind of do a walk around. We actually thought about doing that the other day, but weather was kind of annoying. It was supposed to rain and then it didn't rain. But we were going to do a walkthrough of Pop Century, then a walkthrough of Art of Animation, and then we were actually going to do a walk around to show people how to get to both resorts in the walk through the walking paths that they have. Especially because what I wanted to do is, if we ever are allowed, because Disney sometimes are sticklers when they to let people in on property. But what I would love to do is a walk and talk around Hourglass Lake. If you didn't know, Hourglass Lake is the body of water that separates the art of animation from Pop Century. Fun fact, there is a bridge that connects the two. It's actually where you catch the Skyliner. That bridge is actually called the Generation Gap, because the original concept for Art of Animation was to be the early 1900s of Pop Century. So the Pop Century resort that we have now is, I believe, from 1950 to the 2000s. The I believe it was going to be the golden era version of Pop Century was going to be the 1900s all the way till 1940, and then the generation gap would bridge the two together. But yeah, that was one of the things I was always thinking about doing, just the walk and talk. I know that was a big thing. A lot of people like to do walk and talks. So very so it's very interesting that you mentioned the treadmill aspect as well, because I never really thought there was that much of a niche for that, but that's definitely something that we would like to get into. And another thing that my wife, we were looking at some of our stats from some of our older videos, and apparently people like driving videos, and I know that's so it can be oversaturated, much like with Disney content. But again, I think that because of how we have a unique driving pattern, again, we take our kids to school, we come straight to Disney, we'll go to Universal Studios, all these different pathways that we could take. And my wife just said we should just film everything. And if we wanted to make a separate channel just for driving around Florida, kind of giving people a good comprehensive idea of what it's like being here every day. That's something I don't think that most people will show you. It's a nightmare. It could be I mean, we are, for instance, give or take, on a good day, if there's nobody on the roads, we can get from Animal Kingdom to our house roughly about 10-15 minutes. But due to the amount of people that are here, that, and I will say this, they don't need to be here, it will sometimes take 40 minutes just to get home. And because our kids go to school in not too far. Like again, if we were to go from our house to the kids' school, it should take all of about 20-25 minutes, give or take, traffic lights. But we hit that certain point in the day, and it's like, oh, it's going to be about an hour, and it doesn't make it makes no sense. And they're still building. They're still building. Yeah. So we're always open for ideas. We would like to do the food reviews, but like I said, now this isn't going to be anybody's responsibility but ours. But again, like I said, I'm really hoping to get the channel out there for more of the ad revenue. If we can get some good ad revenue, I would definitely like to do more giveaways. I would definitely like to do more food reviews, because hey, trying to be an upcoming channel is very expensive. If anybody has been with us from the very beginning, which I know is very few, we started off with the cheapest of phones with Metro PCS. I didn't even know what a gimbal was, so we were using any old tripod that we found. Once we got to about, I think once we got to about 300 subscribers, or so, maybe 500 subscribers, we invested in a better phone. It was still Metro PCS, so still not the greatest quality, but at least it was an iPhone this time around. And then once we got, I think that once we started doing live stream on a more constant basis, we upgraded to a gimbal. We actually knew what a gimbal was, even though we didn't get the right one. But again, like I said, the better that this channel does, the better I would like to get to be involved with the channel as well. Like for instance, I think that right now our biggest improvement is, of course, if you did not know, with me being blind, the only way I can get to the chat is having my voiceover on. But in order for the voiceover to be on and you guys not hear it, I had to get a headphone set with a microphone. So that's been a great help for the last few months, as my wife can now go off and do her thing without having to worry about navigating me through the park and also trying to keep up with the chat. I just pick a focal spot and I can chat with you guys for as long as it takes, if you guys don't mind. Love having you guys here. But now I'm interested in a Bluetooth headset microphone, so I will definitely be looking into that, because unfortunately, there's only one port to plug in either the phone or sorry, to plug in the headphones or the fuel rod. So there's gonna be some times where I unfortunately will not be able to engage with the chat because I'll have to plug in the phone so that we can keep the stream going just a little while longer. Yeah, for the most part, sorry, I'm gonna catch up with the chat one by one. Yeah, most folks do go with hold on one second. Oh, yes, most people do refer to the community, which is fine. Again, because I feel as if this, like the city was, I think the city was the original concept for it to be a city with, stores and restaurants, things like that, built by cast members, worked by cast members, all cast members. But I think now it's more of just the community because it is a community. It's just a group of people that come together, just remembering and letting this place grow the way that it is. I've been coming here since birth. 1982 is when EPCOT was first created. I'm actually older than EPCOT by a few months, to be honest with you. So yeah, my dad made it a point to bring me to Florida as often as he could. So I always say I practically grew up coming to Disney all the time. And then from 1990 to about 1999, my dad had various timeshares. So coincidentally, in the area that we're actually renting now, is the same general area that I spent my 90s in, through various timeshares that are in that area. So it's kind of like a big full circle moment for me. And the fact that now I have a family, I have kids, basically being raised in that same area. Kind of a little bit of an emotional moment, when I think about everything that we've been through in just the past 10 years. Okay. So yeah. So yes, I like the ambiance. My wife loves doing the ambiance videos. I think that she kind of gets discouraged because she does take a lot of effort. It does take a lot for us too because one, I'm blind, so I can't really do too much of editing. She's fairly new to everything with editing, and we have a computer, but it's an old computer. So really, everything that she's doing is either through the iPad and or through the phone. And I mean, basically, that's what everything's being done with. I think that if she had an actual computer, and we were able to actually, because we have a good camera, we have the DJI Pocket camera, really good video can be done with that. Built-in gimbal, all that good stuff. It's just like I don't want to say discouraged, but it's kind of like she puts in a lot of effort for some of her videos, and then there's no I don't want to say there's no feedback, but it's like there's very little traction. And it's like it's not really knowing how to push the channel or how to push these videos out. Because like we'll do a video, like for instance, 4K WDW is another huge um, YouTube channel. They've been doing it for years. So, no knocking that. They got it figured out. And I love everything that they do because it's everything that I want to do, from snippets of just every little bit of walkways that you can think of. And that's what my wife wants to do. But it's just kind of, I don't want to say it's discouraging because obviously you can't compare a channel with less than 1,500 to a channel that has, I don't even know how many people these other channels have. But it's kind of like we're doing the same thing. We're trying to do similar things, but then it's like like we had a video that was like up for like a month, barely got double digits. It's kind of like, yeah, that sucks. Keep on going, keep on trucking. But I think that once she actually gets comfortable with a editor, um, and doing some of the other things, we would like to put out more ambiance videos, either with or without commentary too. That's going to be the other thing. Um, it's always hard though because, like for instance, I always think of it as it needs to be at a time where I'm not tagging along with her. She could just freely walk and do her own thing, and then I could sit here and live stream while she's doing that. I think it's like a double whammy. So we'll soon see. Especially, like I said, we've got some upcoming plans for our future coming up here soon. I want to be. It's the kids get out of school at the end of May. And we always seem to say we have to take a break because we try to spend as much time with the kids during their summer break. So it's really hard to stream. It's really hard to stream with them anyway. We did have success a couple weeks ago, but of course, they just wanted to be on the iPads the whole time. I'm trying to get my kids eased into navigating the park by themselves, so that like we can go to the Magic Kingdom and they know where I'll be because I'm streaming, and then they can go do what they want to do. But I also want to probably get them their own phones when we do that as well. But yeah, we kind of want to take that the normal break during summer, but at the same time, I feel as if every time we do that, we got to play catch up again. So I want to keep something going to keep the channel relevant for the most part, even if it's just sitting at home, poolside or something like that. Like I said, we do have some hopefully some major updates coming up in the next couple weeks or so. Hopefully, as time goes on, we'll know something for sure in May. Something that's a big plus, not just for the channel, but for us personally, ourselves. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, that's kind of the thing that we're thinking of. Not to take away from the live streams. I love doing live streams. I love talking to you guys as you guys come in, or I just love running my mouth, as you can clearly tell. So it is what it is with that. And like I said, I appreciate all you guys, all of our casual, normal faces that we see all the time. Like I said, Catherine Renee, Tonio Tower, Tiki Fan, Reading the Tower, Fast Pass, Ride Tracks, Chrissy. There's just so many. Robert Sprites, Rainbow. Man, there's just so many people that I'm surprised I can even remember all these people's names. And sometimes I can even remember maybe the last thing that we even talked about for the most part. So, oh, all right. Sorry about that. Okay, so all right, so yes, I agree. Tornado Tower, I-4 is a mess, especially if there's one thing that goes wrong on I-4, it affects everybody because Florida wasn't built to hold this many people. So there's literally like I-4 runs. If you don't know, I-4, even though it's a four, so it's supposed to run east or west. It does run east or west, but it runs a northeast to a southwest motion. And the biggest thing with that is there's only so many other ways to get from point A to point B when you're not on I-4. So if there's an accident on I-4, for instance, let's say you're in an accident and it's right there by World Drive. Everybody now wants to jump off of I-4 and get on what is called Earl Bronson, aka US 192. US 192 is the main road that takes you all across the state of Florida. Well, not all across the state, basically from the east coast of Florida all the way to about it ends in the Davenport Claremont area. If you don't know, but again, like when everybody dumps off of I-4, everyone clutters on 192, everyone clutters on US 27, and then it's just a nightmare for people who don't even go on I-4. I mean, that's one of the reasons why it's such a hassle. Like I said, when we leave to get our kids go to school in the neighboring community over. It's a great school, great area. However, it's in the midst of if everybody has to get off of I-4 to get on 192, now we're stuck in that traffic. Now our 20-minute, 25-minute commute could take over an hour. And it just makes it very difficult to do anything at this point. Right, Tracks, welcome back. Yes, I enjoy. That's the one thing I loved about YouTube back in the day as well is just reliving some of the things that I used to do, especially with so many attractions that are gone now. So it's great that I can go back and relive some of those old adventures I used to do. Like for instance, I just showed we just watched Twister. Twister is streaming right now, I think on HBO Max, and it's my wife's favorite movie because she used to be a stormtrooper. She used to be a stormtrooper many years ago, and she watched that movie so many times, she knows it word for word. And I'm watching the movie, and I had to show my kids because it's probably been a while. I showed my kids the Twister Ride It Out attraction that used to be Universal Studios Florida. And again, it's like just I couldn't see the video, but in my mind, visually, it's imprinted, and I could see everything as it was happening. I could explain to my kids, okay, is this when the gasoline tanker broke and whatever like that. And they're like, yeah, how'd you know? I was like, my favorite ride. But yeah, I definitely get the POV experience. Again, it's just POVs are difficult for us though because, like I said, I can't. We don't want to stand in line, and if these rides go more than 25 minutes, it's just no, don't want to do it. It's just standing in line is just not for me, especially now with my condition. But it makes it easier though to do the ride POVs because obviously sometimes we just can't catch it on a live stream because of connection issues. But at the same time, it gets difficult because there's so many copyrights, there's so much music going on, and then we can't keep doing the same ones over. I mean, I know a lot of people do, But it's like, if we want to give good quality content every single month, you can only do pirates so many. You can only film pirates so many times or mansion so many times before it starts getting stale for your everyday viewers for the most part. I think that's why I'm tending to lean towards some of the commentary as well. Even though I know some of it is due to just to talk over some of the copywritten stuff, but it's just interesting to get someone else's take on various attractions and things like that. Like for instance, I will watch anybody that was a cast member and how they view a certain attraction, even if it's the same attraction. I mean, I worked at Pirates of the Caribbean for about 2 years, 2.5 years, and someone could explain to me something about pirates, and it would be like a totally different way that I saw it. So I definitely like the commentary, but I definitely could see why people love just the basic ambiance. So, oh, okay. Um, as far as keeping the channel fresh, I have no idea. I have no idea. We just go with the flow. I still can't figure out the algorithm because one minute we get a ton of traffic, and then the next minute, I mean, I will say this: I appreciate anything and everything. I'm always staying humble. I think that's the biggest thing too. I'm never really getting discouraged because at the same time, I look at where we were just over here, like before we got monetized, before a lot of you guys started coming in. It was kind of like, it was like a bleak outlook when, we would film for, we would stream for like, 3, 4 hours back in the day without knowing what the heck we were doing. And then it would be like, we got like 75 people that watched the video. It's just like, yeah, it's like, how do you do this? How do these people do this? And then one day, then the next day, like I think we had a series of live streams where we were barely breaking 100, and then all of a sudden we had like one Magic Kingdom video. We went to Magic Kingdom for like the first time in a while, and I want to say I don't even think it was Christmas. I don't think there was anything special about it, but it was like 800 people, and I was just like, wow, I, okay, yeah. But then after that, it went right back to lower numbers. But like I said, it's like, it seems as if it's just off and on. You just never know. Like I said, we're a very small channel. So like I said, I think we're just still at 1,200. I kind of personally feel after watching other people's channel and how they grow, you really don't start to gain much major traction until you get to about 2,000 subscribers. And even then, like I noticed too, and I'm going to be brutally honest with this one, because again, we don't know anything about anything when it comes to YouTube. I mean, like I said, I've never taken the deep dive when it comes to how to do the YouTube thing. There's so many things I'm just now learning from just watching other people, listening to other people's videos, and kind of the tactics other people do. But I've noticed, like in a couple of our videos, like even with our live streams, there will be. I think there was one time I ended a live stream that I did a nighttime live stream. I know there weren't that many people in the video or in the podcast chat, but it said for some reason it said there were 33 chats. I could tell you for a fact I was going through the chat while I was doing the live stream, and there were not 33 comments. So I have no idea what these 33 comments. Sometimes I think that YouTube just kind of like boosts things to kind of help with your algorithm if you kind of do have a following. I do notice too that a lot of times we'll go live and the number that it says that we had is not the number that ends up showing up on YouTube Studio. So I just feel as if okay, it's like what is going on? Like the other day, I think I did a quick podcast last night. Like I said, I did podcast last night. It went for 33 minutes on my end, but when I ended the live stream, it said it only went for 9 minutes. So I haven't gone back and watched it. I actually made it private to go back and watch it because I have no idea what it did not catch. But it said that I had it's a funny thing. It said I had the video was 9 minutes. It said that I had uh I want to say it said that I had 96 people that watched it, but then there was only 2 likes. But then when I went back on YouTube Studio, which I think is like the official, then it said I had 35 and 5. So I have no idea. I have no idea what YouTube's algorithm is. And then we're not in the market to pay someone to figure it out for us. So it's kind of like trial and error, like I said. Like I said, some of our videos, some of our actual videos that we have, we used to have videos back in the day that would get like a couple hundred. Now we've got videos, same walkthrough videos, probably only get about 50, 60. So it's no rhyme or reason. Um, but at the same time, too, I think the biggest encouragement, and again, I don't want to throw shade to anybody else, but there's been a couple of people that I've watched and tuned into, and it's more like, okay, like surely we have better content than they do. Like, what's going on? Like, come on. And I would feel as if everyone kind of thinks that we're likable people. I think that we're likable people. I think that people who have met us in person do enjoy our company. Hell, I mean, for instance, when we took our trip to California last summer, we actually got to meet Fast Pass, Fast Pass Radio. Him and Rytrex has kind of been with us really for a very long time. I mean, basically since we got monetized. So it's been nice to be able to have that comfortable feeling when we come into the chat. But being able to go out to California and meet Fast Pass and his family, and we still have a nice speaking relationship now, over the phone, things like, which is great because he's in California, I'm in Florida, so it's just nice to have that community, and actually mean it. Like I don't mind meeting people in the park. I don't mind straying. If someone says they're in the park, and hey, like for instance, you're watching the live stream, you know where I'm going to be at. You know exactly where I'm going to be at. I'm sitting on the bench. Sit right next to me. Tell me who you are. We'll have a conversation. No issues there. My grandparents, especially my grandmother, she used to always say, you just never know when you're entertaining an angel. That's basically all it is for me. All I'm in there. My comments just reset. So give me a moment to catch up. It did it again. Unbelievable. Hold on, guys. If you're seeing the camera shake, don't mind me. I'm just going through the chat. I have to go through the chat one by one. Okay. All right. Sorry, I had to catch you with the chat here. So yeah, as far as so to answer your thing there, right tracks. Yeah, that's the thing that Jenny was just talking about this morning too, as far as filming us driving around the areas. That's actually something that we could do because we drive so frequently anyway. It's just a matter of it's like we want to do it, but we just never know what's the right equipment. She wants to get one of those dash cameras, because yeah, we could use our phone, we could use our DJI pocket camera, but there's really nowhere to put it to make sure that it doesn't fall over. We did have a contraption for the phone, but our phone doesn't store the footage very well. I think my wife, if she takes like 3 minutes of three, I mean, she's got so much stuff on her phone, she can't even film something for more than 3 minutes without her phone saying it's full. I don't want my phone to do that either. So it's more like getting the proper equipment to start doing that. And I know we procrastinate on everything, but again, it's like we see the price of things. It's like, well, do we want to put that much of investment when we're still working this channel to get to where we need to be, as far as ad revenue goes. Like I said. All right, so real quickly, what I'm going to do is because I am pretty sure that my phone might be on its last leg. I can't check it right now, but I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to continue rambling. If you guys want to continue the chat, hopefully my wife will regroup with us here soon. I'm going to go ahead and plug the phone up, so I will be disconnecting my headphones here in just a moment, just so we can keep the stream going. I actually have no idea what time it is either, so like I said, we're going to probably be here till about 2 o'clock or so. Hold on 1 second. Let me go ahead and switch this out. So be forewarned if you see my hands or if you see some shaking going on with the camera. I'm going to have to turn my voiceover off first. All right, folks, hold on to your butts. There's that. All right, step one complete. And going forward here. All right, let me give me a few more seconds here. Now, if any of my moderators who are in here, because anybody else can let everyone else know that I will not be able to respond to comments at the moment. I am literally blind at this point, so I will not be able to interact with any of the chats until my wife returns. Where are the things? And once again, if you're just now joining us, we're here live, Spaceship Earth here at EPCOT Center, experimental prototype city slash community of tomorrow. It is definitely climbing up in temperature, but that breeze does keep the humidity at bay for the most part. It's supposed to be a high of about 82 degrees. It's supposed to be cloudy today. I would say it does seem to be about that. We haven't had any bursts of sunshine, at least since we've been here. Flower and Garden Festival is in full effect, I believe. Uh, all the way up until June 1st is when Flower and Garden ends. We have only indulged in the food items one time since the booths since the festival started. I will have to come back and do the booths again, but time is on our side at this point. Like I said, we do plan, like I said, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday this week will more than likely be a lot of live streaming as much as we can. Wednesday, we have a special event going on. It is our son's 9th birthday. So we're going to be taking him to Epic Universe for the first time. It's actually all of our first time. So we don't know what to expect, wouldn't even know what to film. So that'll just be a private day for us. Once we see how this week's live streaming does, we'll probably just go ahead and continue on with it as much as we can. But also, we'll probably be taking a day to just do some random filming so that we can provide other content so that we're not just relying on live streaming for the most part. But if you like anything that we've ever put out or any of the conversations that we've had, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel if you have not, hit that bell notification so you can be notified of all the chaos that we have. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your enemies. Hopefully, they're not all the same people. So like and subscribe to this side. Another big reason why I am gravitating to the 2 o'clock. I know a lot of you and a lot of people that do come into the chat are actually following a lot of other people. But of course, of all the people that I have watched and of all the personalities I have seen, I think the only person that I would encourage people to watch after 2 o'clock is, of course, John with Fun to Be Free. Very engaging with the chat, very engaging with what he does. And he's got a great team of people that help him with that as well. I would probably put him over a lot of people that I have tuned into. I mean, I think that everybody else is pretty much they're just doing it because again, I don't want to say they don't enjoy doing what they're doing, but I think there's different reasons why some people do what they do. But with John being a former cast member himself, as he said out there in California, I could definitely get behind that. Versus other people that just moved to Orlando just to be Disney content creators, and they brought all their non-Florida beliefs to Florida.
Like I said, I'm gonna have to put a reminder to myself, or if someone wants to leave me a comment in another video, because I'll probably forget. We got to sit down and look up to see if I can find a Bluetooth headphone and microphone set. That way, I can not rely on a corded microphone. I can still engage with the chat while I'm plugging in my phone. So, like I said, if you leave me something in the comments, if I did not get to it, do not fret. I am not ignoring you. I just have no access to the comment section as of yet. My wife is still walking around. She's probably running into a lot of friendly faces that we haven't seen in about 2 weeks. I think that's the biggest thing about us when we come to the park. It's not about ride the rides. It's not even, I mean, we do, she does enjoy the pin trading. She does enjoy finding new pins. But a lot of times it's just seeing familiar faces that just recognize us from walking around the parks. Of course, I did work here briefly in the year of 2017, but I did overnight shifts. So I never got a chance to see people during the day. But sometimes I feel as if cast members can just tell other cast members. Or sometimes, I mean, like I said, we just seem to be very likable people. So people do enjoy having the conversation. We actually found out that one of the cast members here, her grandson is actually in the same class as our son. So that's fun to have that. I mean, again, it goes back to the experimental prototype community. Like we are a community, and you don't realize how broad that community can get. I would probably say there's probably a handful of cast members that do work here that I have probably worked with in the past or know someone that I've worked with in the past. So that's always fun to see those familiar faces as well. But we'll definitely take into consideration any and all videos to do. For instance, I think that one of the most underrated videos that we probably ever did was our Maharaja Jungle Trek walkthrough. We actually did two separate ones. One of them we did about a year or so ago, and then we did another one. I would say more recently with I believe the tiger's name is it Bosco or Botso? Unfamiliar. I can never remember how to pronounce it. But I, mean, I feel as if there's so many walking paths that are just not talked about. And I know other big channels do showcase them, but I just think it's still just not enough attention with all the different walkways that you can go through. And with us being cast members, I mean, other than the tunnels, I mean, what can you not show here at Walt Disney World? And then there's so many walking paths that now I wish that we would have filmed for, as Adam Lou would say, for posterity. Because if you remember when Epcot was going through its major transformation, they opened up two walkways off to the left and right far side of Spaceship Earth. That way you could get to Guardians of the Galaxy and over to the Nemo area where they were working on the World Celebration area. Those are pathways I believe are closed now. And it's very interesting because, like I said, when I worked for the company, I actually remember what used to be in those areas. It was just basically just storage facilities, storage spaces. Knowing what all is backstage in various areas, it's very very interesting that they haven't tapped into all space that they could use. But again, like I said, like one of the things I would love to have done is getting here super early because as many people know or don't know, World Showcase technically doesn't open till 11 as far as the food booths go. So no one's really in World Showcase unless they're getting on Frozen Ever After, Ratatouille, or if they're pin traders, and of course, watch out for those. Um, so there's a lot of just untapped scenery at World Showcase, and I can tell you for a fact, I've said this before when I got my annual pass for the first time in 2012, I came to Epcot one day just to walk around, and I had some amazing pictures of an empty World Showcase. And these are areas that I never even thought about going to any other time. I on one of my old phones from so many years ago, there is a good shot of the back of France. Because again, I had no idea that France had so many things back there before Ratatouille. But it got a good empty shots of Morocco, good empty shots of Italy, and some amazing empty shots of the UK and the France pavilion, and also the Canada pavilion. So I just encourage him, if you get here super early, take advantage of World Showcase just being empty, and especially those pavilions that aren't attracting the large crowds due to the attractions that they have there. One of the places I did want to stream from, I thought about it. If you ever remember, there's an upper level to the general area of where Figment Journey to Imagination is. It is where the Captain EO show used to be back in the day. It's still there. The jumping fountains are still there. The upside down waterfall is still roaring. It's just not really much of a view. So I was really worried about either just being in the direct sun, and then not having anything really to look at except for maybe like over overlooking World Showcase in a different way. But I would love to do that. It's just that the upside down waterfall, reverse waterfall, probably would make it difficult to hear anything over the microphone. So had to do an audible call on that. Another thing that I would love to have done, because with me not having my vision, it's very hard. Like I can envision what I want to film, but I can't relay that to my wife, and I don't know if she could pinpoint like an exact area. But one of my favorite spots to sit, because the music is so I don't want to say, how do you say, not classical, but it's nostalgic. It's sitting in front of the land pavilion, before you go in. It's got this nice 70s 80s vibe. Like I feel as if the music makes me feel like I'm watching an old show, and there's shag carpet with the matching furniture. It's that type of feel that I get, and for some reason I'm big fan of that. um Excuse me. And I was a big fan of it, like I said, when I worked the overnight shifts, because the music in this park plays to about, I want to say, till about 2:45 in the morning before it cuts off. And then it turns back on about 6 a.m., 6:30 a.m. So for the most part, when I would be hosing down the park or cleaning various areas, you just hear that music playing all night long. And it's great. It just really helped me appreciate everything that comes into this park, or comes into the parks in general, not just this park. But the fact that like this park just doesn't stop. There's always somebody in it. There's always something going on. If you know the attractions, some of these attractions they do not turn off, and that's why I think it's very imperative. When we have these breakdowns, are so frequent because these rides never get a real rest period. I think that for the most part, these rides are probably shut down for maybe about 2 hours. There's like a moment in time. So let's say the park is closing at 10. We have a period of time that they have to, as we call, cycle through the remaining guests, making sure everyone gets a chance to get on the ride that was already in line. And then that kind of has to be a thing until the last guest gets off. So if you have a high profile ride that has like an hour wait already, the park might close at 10, but the last guest might not get off until 11:15 or so. And then from that point on, the ride does get shut down. But it's only for a brief time, because then the maintenance guys come in and they start working the attraction, and they might have to turn the attraction right back on and run it continuously to make sure everything is in working order. So that's why I never get upset when rides break down. And I have a more of a respect for it being a cast member, and knowing that that's exactly why. Like I said, I worked Pirates of the Caribbean and the Haunted Mansion, and just getting a good feel of, especially I had the chance to be an opener. I got to learn how to open and close Pirates of the Caribbean, and it was very interesting opening the attraction and getting a better understanding of how much work it takes to get those things up and going, and the different levels of partnerships that you have to have, because as a basic cast member, for the most part, not to simplify the job, but for the most part, our job is to push the button and make the attraction go. Nothing technical about that. But we have to have a good understanding about how this attraction works. If there is anything that goes wrong, then we have to relay that to maintenance. But again, it's more about, we have to know how the attraction works. Maintenance, then we could tell maintenance what's going on, and then they could fix the attraction. Because of that communication, I have such a profound respect for everybody that does something here at Walt Disney World, because I've done so many things within the company over the last 13 years, and there's so much more that I wanted to do because it's more of just a learning experience. And like I said, the appreciation of everything that goes on to make this place work the way that it works. I can't even get mad about things that go on at Disney if it's technical, because I know there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that we don't understand. And I will say the one thing that we're really crossing our fingers on this summer, or hopefully soon, we want to get out to Disneyland one more time. But unfortunately now, because without me being a cast member, I don't get the best perk of all, and that's being able to get into Disneyland for free. But we have contemplated buying annual passes. However, though the annual pass that we're looking at getting would it be about $75 per person. So that's roughly $300 for a family of four. Our universal passes, when we update those, that's going to be about $146 for for all four of us. I think our Disney passes are a little bit more expensive than that, so it is kind of amazing how we can have four Universal Studios passes for 146, I believe it is. But our Disney passes are probably pushing about 200, and then if we were to get Disneyland passes, that's going to be pushing 300. That's if all the planets are aligned and we get some good traction, especially. I know there's a special that's running up until May 7th, and we have to take. And if we do if we had the deadline is May 7th, and the trips have to be done before the 21st. That sounds right up our alley. We're very last minute, but like I said, depending on if we do get some good news as far as the channel and some life updates here in the next month, that could very well be a possibility. So fingers crossed on that. As I've been saying a number of times before, it definitely helps when we get the likes and the subscriptions. Um, I noticed that we do get a lot more traction for the Magic Kingdom, which is very understandable. So, like I said, we'll be at Magic Kingdom Tuesday and Thursday. But yeah, we're hoping to get out to California one more time before the 70th celebration ends. My wife really wants to see Paint the Night one more good time. I would definitely have to take the kids. Our kids thoroughly enjoy Disneyland. We were actually quite surprised how much they enjoy Disneyland. We kept up with our tradition. Every time we go to Disneyland, we set foot inside a Disneyland park every day that we're there. Um, it continued on the last time we went. The day we checked in, we went to Disneyland, and the day we checked out, we had like 2 hours before we had to go to the airport. We hopped into Disneyland and California Adventure to get those last bits. Our kids did pretty well with it. And yeah, they're anxious to go back as well as anxious to go on a cruise as well. But that's a lot going on in such a short time frame. Um, but hopefully we'll be able to do more and more of that stuff. I would like to get to be like the casual YouTubers that are out there, where they're able to just, reap in the benefits of, like I said, ad revenue. Like I said, I would love to do some giveaways, uh, and various things like that. I appreciate everybody. Like, I mean, I can't say it enough. We appreciate anybody and everybody. I think that we're naturally appreciative of it. Because, again, we know we're not the best, but many people still choose to come, still choose to have conversation. If they don't know the situation, they eventually do learn. And I'd like to update again. If you're new to the channel, if you're just ninja watching us offhand, I am a blind YouTube vlogger. I accompany my wife as she likes to come to. We like to come to the park every day, but as of over the last, let's see, 2026, over the last 4 or 5 years, my vision deteriorated, so everything that I do in the Walt Disney World park or community is done by a digital imprint, a memory, I guess you could say. But I still like to accompany my wife to the park. She likes to do some pin trading, reconnect with some people that we just casually see in the park. And then I'll sometimes just do like what we're doing. I'll just sit down on a bench and enjoy the ambiance. It kind of makes me feel like what my dad used to feel. Sometimes my dad would just come to the park and he'd give me, back in the day when 20 bucks went a long way, he'd give me 20 bucks and I'd say, meet me back here in about 4 hours, 4 or 5 hours. And I'm just in the Magic Kingdom doing my thing. And then sure enough, I get back 4 or 5 hours later. My dad is exactly where I left him. He might even be dozed off. But I think that that's what my dad liked to do. My dad liked to just listen to the music, take in the sights, take in the sounds, and relax, which I think I'm going to do because I'm hearing this Epcot music. I know I've been talking a lot on the video. I'm just going to go ahead while we're letting the battery charge, I'm just going to let some of the music play. I do believe they turned it up a little bit over the last 15 minutes. So just take some time, chat amongst yourselves if you like. My wife should be regrouping with us soon. Maybe she can connect me back up with the chat, or I can check the battery when she gets back and kind of go through some of the chat that I did miss. But for the next few moments, just enjoy EPCOT's music. And once again, if you are enjoying this view of Spaceship Earth, if you're enjoying just being here on a Monday afternoon, live here at EPCOT Center, as the old school people call it, go ahead and like this video, give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you have not, hit that bell notification so you can be updated on all of our chaos and upcoming necessities that we like to do throughout life. Let us know in any of our chats or any of our comments on different things that you would like to see us do in the videos. We'll even take some special requests. We want the community, we want this to be a real community where, as long as we can, we will do it whatever we can for the channel. We would like to do, of course, POVs and things like that while we're inside the park, but unfortunately, we have not mastered the technology to keep our streams going while entering into some of these attractions. So we try to keep it to at least outdoor attractions if we can. Of course, Magic Kingdom, that only really keeps us located to the People Mover. I really can't do anything that does a lot of turning around in circles, as it does make my vertigo go a little crazy. And as always, be sure to tell your friends, tell your family, tell your enemies. Hopefully, they're not all the same people. To subscribe and check us out on a casual basis. And I'm pretty sure that we've been very mindful in the chat today, but a couple times the chat did get a little bit out of control. So I'd like to thank our moderators for keeping a lot of the chat clean and respected. And as I'd like to update everybody with the weather as well, I would say it's probably definitely going to be 79 degrees at this point in time. If you can tell by the microphone, we are getting that breeze coming in through. It's going to be a cloudy day today. However, no sign of precipitation at the moment. And if you are new here, just be advised I am a blind YouTube vlogger, so do not feel as if I'm ignoring you inside the chat. I am just not having, I don't have access to the chat. I do not have my headphones on at the moment. I could turn my voiceover on to interact with the chat. However, that would mean that you would have that annoying automated voice, and you would not be able to hear my lovely voice. I actually was thinking about starting off every live stream with a song because we had a nice little pool day yesterday where we fired up the grill. My wife made some incredible burgers, some smoked sausages, and we bought some steaks. So we fired up the grill. The kids jumped in the pool for a little bit, and I found it's not a news station, but I was just going through Pandora. Wanted to listen to some Walt Disney music, and it found a station that plays like what I've been looking for, songs from the rides, songs from movies. And it's funny because the song that came up was from Songs of the South, of course, the world famous Zippity Doodah. And I found myself really thinking, like, why is that song? Why did they want to, I don't want to say cancel, but why did they want to eradicate that movie and that everything's existence? And I get it. It was part of the thing where we wanted to be mad about everything that happened 60, 70 years ago. But like, listening to that song and it's just like there's nothing bad about that song. And when I think about the movie, I've seen the movie way back in the day. I don't feel as if it's anything out of the norm, considering the fact of the time frame that that movie came out. And I found myself singing that song and really thinking to myself, like, you know what? We need to bring that song back. I have no problem doing it. I think I probably get away with it though, because again, theoretically, if you did not know, the entire Songs of the South and that particular song, Zippity Doodah, was, I guess, seen as derogatory towards the black community. Um, uh, yeah, someone has to explain to me. I mean, I get it. You don't like the characterization, but again, it is a timepiece. I believe that movie came out in the. I want to say that movie came out in the late 30s, maybe the 40s. I can't really remember. But I feel as if that's just a showcase of how Hollywood evolved. Because if you did not know, one of the main characters in that particular film was a black man. So that was kind of encouraging for someone to have a center stage role like that and have an incredible singing voice for that as well. So listening to that song, I'm like, yeah, know what? I need to bring that song back. I need to start singing that song every day. when I start my live stream, I'm gonna probably start doing that. I'm gonna probably start tomorrow in the Magic Kingdom. I'm gonna start off the live stream singing Zippity Doo Dah, and feel free to join along if you do. No big deal. Hey, I might even do it for every single part. Let's just keep it real. I'll be very anxious to see what people say in the chat down below on that. Of course, like I said, when my wife gets back, she'll probably have a lot of catching up to do, so be easy. But yeah, if you do see her coming back in, go ahead and let me know. Should I bring back Zippity Doo? Should I single handedly bring back Zippity Doo Dah song and let everybody know it's okay to sing it? I will say for the future of our channel, I don't have any expected goals. We've been a little bit lackadaisy with some of our expectations with the channel, mainly because of everything that we've been going through. Just our last summer where we took a lot of vacation time, and then just trying to like get into the pin trading and trying to we've got a nice little group of people that can't get to the parks every day, um, that want my wife to find this pin or find this pin. So it's kind of like that's been something that's been, I don't want to say taking up the time, but that's been the thing that we've been doing ever since last fall. Was just trying to get people what they wanted because they can't get to the parks. And it's even fun because some of the people that we do engage with, they know that we're not actually buying the pins in the park because we don't absolutely have to. We just like to find them on the pin boards, and she actually does pretty good finding some of these pins on the pin board. Now, obviously, it's not going to be the chasers. I mean, it's very rare do we find chasers. But we do have some pretty good luck finding a lot of the good pins that will be in the stores. Actually, as a matter of fact, there was a couple times we were actually finding pins on the boards before they were actually officially released. So that's kind of the big fun as to why we come to the parks every day as well. It's just really pin trading. I love doing the trivia. That's a big thing for me. I love trivia and I love being stumped on trivia because I feel as if I'm learning something new every day. So. Yeah, I would also like to look into if anybody has any suggestions on what else could we get to stream with. Because like I said, I'm using my personal phone, so a lot of what we're trying to do, I have to go back after we're streaming to catch up with important business. But if anybody knows any other way of streaming without using a cell phone per se, I've heard there are ways of filming with external cameras. I'm not that savvy with it. I don't know if that's a because we stream directly through YouTube. So I don't know if it's better to use one of these third party applications. I just downloaded Streamlabs. I know that's been something that a lot of people do use, either Streamlabs or I believe it's called Prism. But again, we're fairly new to all this stuff, and I can't physically read the way these things work. So it's kind of like a guessing game when it comes to the Prism. I think we did try to live stream one time from Prism, but there was no audio whatsoever, and we never figured it out. So we stopped using Prism after that. Yeah, but it's really just like how do we get the word out there? How do like I see a lot of these other vloggers out there, they'll have, 200 people, 400 people. I mean, some of these people, I don't know how, they'll have like 1,000 people watching, and I sit there, I click on their content, I'm just like, are they gonna say anything? What is this? I mean, I get it. They had a head start. They got a good following. But yeah, I just feel as if come on, like you're supposed to be a community lead. All right, I'm gonna probably give my phone just a few more minutes of charging. Hopefully it'll last a little bit and I'll bring the headphones back in. I'll start getting to the chat. I would say probably right after that. I'm not really I'm not really sure what time it is. I know we've been probably streaming for about 2 hours or so now. That's pretty much a good time span for some of our live streams. I know we got lucky. We did a couple of 3 hour, 4 hour live streams. I think that was basically stroke of luck right there. But we'll soon see. But give me just 1 second. I'll get my headphones on and I'll get back with you guys just shortly. Once again, as just as a heads up, you're going to see some shaking. That is just going to be me unplugging. All right. All right, I am just now catching up to the chat, guys. So bear with me here. Right now, as far as the chat goes, I don't know how far back this was. Um, Monorail being dirty. Yes, I could definitely contest. I have seen back in the day. I've seen I've seen Disney take better care of a lot of the stuff that they've had. I don't know what I just did with that one. I put the few on the wrong spot. Yeah, I appreciate the people that do take the time to realize that the quality is a lot different than what it was back in the day. But at the same time, working here and knowing the mentality, like when we were taught here at the Walt Disney World Company, custodial was literally everybody's responsibility. Whether you're custodial or not, it's everybody's responsibility to keep the park clean. If you see trash, you pick it up, everything like that. I feel as if it's kind of like now people just want to let everybody stay in their lane. So like cast members that aren't custodial don't want to do custodial things. Um, I feel as if that's kind of like a ignorant way of thinking of it. Um, I was the type of person when I worked for the company. We just talked about this the other day. If you don't know, obviously people get sick. People get sick here at Disney. They do throw up. It happens. But I feel as if now more than ever, most cast members just want to call someone else to clean it up, no matter where it is. And I'm just over here, just like I know where the stuff is. The little wood, the wood carving stuff that you put down. I know where that stuff is. If most of it's located in certain spots everywhere. I'll take the time. I'll sprinkle it down, let it soak up. I'll soup it up. I'll clean it up. It's no big deal. I would much rather it get done quickly, so that it doesn't disrupt other people that also might get sick from it, rather than just sitting and waiting for a custodial person to do it. Now, again, there are some places that obviously we can't do it. If someone throws up in a ride vehicle, that's a different way of doing things altogether. But if it's a common space, everyone should just, if you can bear it, just go ahead and do it. But yeah, the Disney, it's been commented on several occasions. I believe the biggest critic of it, which I would say I'm a decent fan of his, um, WW News Today. He is a fan, a lifelong fan of Disney, very critical of it. There are some points I don't agree with per se, some justification towards a lot of things I don't agree with, but
for the most part, it's like he's very critical on what he feels is a very special place to him, and that's just how I feel as well. So let me go through some more of the chat here. I'm sorry, just catching up with the chat. So yeah, when I said non-Florida beliefs, I didn't really know how to phrase that, but basically, like it's kind of like everything. Okay, how do I say it? Like one of the things that I've noticed over the last 10 years or so, as we've steadily seen our population increase, especially over the last 5 years. Uh, people doing what they used to do where they're from, down here in Florida, and Florida doesn't work that way. One of the biggest ones is, of course, I get it. People love nature. People love the hiking trails. People love going down the waterways. You can't do that in Florida. Florida will eat you alive and have no shame about it. I think that the recent increase in alligator attacks here in the state of Florida has nothing to do with people messing with gators. It has everything to do with people just doing what they thought they could do back home. We actually had an incident I just heard of on the news just over this weekend. I mean, I think that being here in Florida and being around so many people who are from Florida, if there's one thing that in Florida, every body of water possibly has an alligator, even your swimming pool. But the sheer fact that there was a story about a kid or somebody that was swimming in I believe this was in Volusia County, which is about northeast of Orlando. He was swimming in like a creek in Volusia County, and he got attacked by a gator. And it's kind of like I get it, if you're coming from, like, for instance, I mean, I know people that live. But for instance, my wife, she lives out in Missouri, so it's no big deal to go down to the creek, go down to the lake, and jump in. Get your kayak, get your boat, float down the river. Yeah, perfect. Can't do that in Florida. You're basically dinner or a snack. So when I say non-Florida beliefs, it's more like don't if you're coming from Chicago, if you're coming from New York, if you're coming from Jersey, you're coming from California, you're coming from wherever you're coming from, don't do here what you do back home. Plain and simple. It would solve a lot of people a lot of headaches. Like for instance, we have a lot because of the population that's going on. We've got a lot of people, and this is probably everyone's biggest complaint. There's a lot of people who learn how to drive everywhere else, and now you're interfering with people in Florida who knew how to drive in Florida. Um, Roundabouts aren't for everyone. Four-way stops must be a challenge because there's always some weird traffic situation that's going on here in Florida, and it can be easily avoided. We also have a big thing now where people drive very, very fast. Now, in Florida, there's two ways to drive. You're either in the left-hand lane driving whatever I said this, whatever road you're on is the speed limit. So if you're on I-95, if you're in the fast lane, you're doing 95 miles an hour, or you're getting out of the way. If you're in the far right lane, you're not speeding, but you're probably still going fast. Now it's like everyone just sees this as the autobahn, no matter what lane you're in. Every single lane just roaring down the street. Cars are louder, trucks are getting bigger, and I'm sorry, there's still a lot of I don't. There's still a lot of people above the age of 50 that just want to go for a casual drive, and they're entitled to do that, but they can't because they got the 22-year-old who wants to drive his supercharged whatever it is. He wants to go 0 to 60 in 3 seconds for no reason whatsoever because the traffic light is going to make you change. And we hear it all the time. We don't live too far from one of the toll roads. And this is a place that, like I said, I grew up. You didn't hear these things 10, 15 years ago. You didn't hear these things. But now it's like there's sirens everywhere. There's loud engines. There's just people it's chaos down here. And it's simply because it's like people that moved here, they brought their mentality with them instead of adapting to something different. But at the same time, these are the same people that they'll only be here for a few years before they decide they hate it. Believe it or not, there's a lot of people that don't like living in Florida. It's it, I always say now there's actually an unwritten rule. There's a 3-5-7 rule. Break that in the years: 3 years, 5 years, 7 years. The first 3 years, it's like your honeymoon phase. You absolutely love it. You love your decision, wouldn't change it for a bit. There are a number of people that hate it right off the bat. So it's kind of like in the first 3 years, you're learning to love it, or in the first 3 years, you're trying to get out of it. Once you get to 5 years, you've pretty much got a feel of how you really feel about it, or you're just now closing on that chapter. Now you go to 5 years. That means from 3 to 5 years, you've now spent your time finding ways of how to save up and get out of the state of Florida. Once you get to 7 years, you're here. You're either here because you love it, or you're here and you're miserable and you hate it so much, but you're stuck here. That's pretty much what everything is like happening down here in Florida. And I will tell people this all the time. Most people, they move to Florida, and I always know the conversation. They came here so many times for winter. They loved it when they came here for the winter. I always tell people, I'm going to say this, people replacing 3 months of winter, but then they turn around and they have to suffer through 9 months of hell because Florida is, I mean, it's being nice now. I will say there's a lot of people who are just now moving to Florida. They probably absolutely love this weather, but give it about another month or so, the mouth breathers are going to come out and they're going to be mad that it's 77 degrees at 6 o'clock in the morning. They're going to be mad that the humidity is just thick in the air. And pretty soon you're going to get to the point where no one's going to be outside because they just want to be in their AC and complain about their air conditioning bill being 3 times more than what it was before. So, all right, so let me check on my chat here some more. All right. All right. So I don't know how much battery I have left, but I will keep. I'm trying to keep up with the chat here, so bear with me. I want to go back. Tony O'Tower asks, "How do you open an attraction?" Um, it's easy. It gets easier the more that you do it. It's very simple. They everything. Let me just say this here, without disclosing too much of the secrets. There's a checklist. Every attraction has one. The checklist breaks it down very simple. Like if you have a very good trainer that can run you through the checklist, then the checklist pretty much is self-explanatory. It gets to the point though, like I will tell you this. I was so used to opening attractions because like they really try to get you acclimated to whatever it is that you're doing. So if you work the morning shifts, they try to get you acclimated to opening. If you work evening shifts, they get you acclimated to closing. If once you start doing it enough times, there was some points where every attraction I worked, Chantel Bell, Pirates of the Caribbean, Haunted Mansion, I didn't need the checklist. I would just, I would do the checklist when I get back because I knew everything on the checklist. If you follow the checklist, you're good. Um, some attractions, obviously, bigger than ever. I never worked in huge attractions. Pirates of the Caribbean was a fairly big attraction, but nowhere close to, for instance, like the Passage, Test Track, Guardians of the Galaxy. I'd imagine is pretty huge. Kilimanjaro Safari, it's probably huge. And because a lot of attractions, you have to actually walk the actual track. You have to check exit points just in case there has to be evacs. You have to check the emergency systems, all those little things. Generally speaking, opening attractions could take anywhere, depending on the attraction, anywhere from 30 minutes to 2 hours, from what I understand. So just imagine, when the park opens at 8 o'clock in the morning, those cast members have probably been there since 5:45 to clock in, be ready to go, to start doing their checklist by, for instance, let's say the park opens at 9, they start their checklist about 6:45, 7. So they're probably clocking in at 6 a.m. in the morning. So they have a long day ahead of them. But it is fairly easy, very enjoyable. Again, a lot of people say working for the parks does kind of make the magic a little less magical. But to me, like I said, I think it makes it more magical because when you see how much work it takes to make this magic happen, it's amazing to be a part of that. It's amazing to know that you got to do that. Like I worked in Chantel Bell. I got to see that mirror do its thing. If you don't know, Enchanted Bell has a great mirror effect that they've used for other attractions now. But it was the first of its kind at that time. And knowing how that worked, seeing how that worked without the music, without the big fiasco, but then being able to work that attraction and just see the people's excitement, it's almost just like, yeah, I got to do that. It's that type of feel, and that's what I think most cast members need to stay with is that type of feel. And yeah, earlier, T man, yeah, John comes in with a lot of his knowledge of being a former cast member. I don't know how long it's been since he's been a cast member, but it's definitely refreshing to hear people who know what they're talking about, who know what it's like to be a cast member. and have the respect and I would say admiration for what it is that they do, and not just to be here to be like, oh yeah, this is like I've heard some people say some off the wall stuff, and it's just like, oh, it's hearsay. You never actually looked into it, you know. Yes. I don't know how many chats I got to go through, but I'll get through as many as I can. Um, yes, Tony Tower, Disneyland. Now I've gone to Disney World more often than any other place I've ever been to in the country. But there's something about Disneyland, and I've only been to Disneyland. I mean, I would say, oh man, as far as not, I'm not going to count dates because the last three trips we took to Disneyland since me and wife have been together, I would say we probably went to Disneyland probably 21. We probably went to Disneyland every day of a 10-day trip, every day of a 14-day trip, and every day of our last 7-day trip. So that's what 31 times. Um, and I've only been to Disneyland two other times before that, and it's just something about it. I think that the big thing about it is for us, it's because my wife's a big fan of the man Walt Disney. I am a big fan of himself, not to the extent that she is, but it's just the sheer fact it's more magical because Walt Disney actually walked these grounds. Um, he put his footsteps, his handprints, all that stuff is here. And the only thing that I regret, and I don't really regret too much, but I really wish we took an advantage of going to see, doing the tour to look at his apartment. Again, when we first went, our little one was just born, and I don't think they allowed babies on the tour. So we're hoping that sometime soon, I at least would like for my wife to do it, even if I have to sit with the kids. I would like for my wife to be able to go do the tour to check out Walt Disney's apartment and things like that. Yeah, at least for that part. Oh, hey, just catch up with the chat. I was trying to let the I was letting the thing charge,
Oh,
and I'm just catching up with a lot of the chat.
I have something hilarious to tell you right now.
Hold on.
One of our old managers is just walking by, and I would have never known her except for she had that sour look on her face that she always had. You know which one it was?
What, glasses? Oh, wait, what are we talking about? I can think of a lot of managers that had sour looks. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, she's the one that um with the shareholder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Whenever you're done there, good news all around. So,
Oh no, what time is it?
151.
151. Oh, shoot, I gotta wrap this up. Oh yeah, we got 9 minutes. All right, let me chat with some of this chat here. Hold on a minute here. Oh, Tiki, yes, you guys. Now, we did not do the churros. I'm not a big churro person, and we didn't do much of anything. But the food in Disneyland is good all the way around. I mean, it is top quality. One thing that we loved when we first went to Disneyland, the what's the name of that restaurant that we went to over there? It's now Tiana's thing.
Oh,
The French Market.
yes.
So over there in what's called New Orleans Square, not far from the Haunted Mansion, we were shocked because first of all, it's cafeteria style, but the food is like good quality food, and it was like real silverware at a quick service, and it was like we didn't know what to do, and then someone came and picked up our plate and took our silverware, and we're just not used to that because at Disney World, their quick service, you clean up after yourself, it's on to the next. But yeah, everything in Disneyland superbly better. I mean, I cannot comment enough when we see people when we talk to cast members over there. We're just like it's night and day. Like Florida's fun, Florida's good, but man, California is on a different level.
Right. Jenny's back. Did you find some cereal?
Oh,
Right, Joyce, were you here from like
I don't think he was there.
oh,
But he might have been here when I reiterated.
oh man.
Yeah, you don't need the other one. You just need the cereal.
You never know what you're gonna get on this channel, especially we don't know what's gonna come out of my mouth.
Yeah, Tony Tower. Yes, we use YouTube directly. Um, sorry, I probably did answer this earlier. We did experiment with Prism one time before, and then I have Streamlabs, but I'm not absolutely sure. I don't know if I have to. Do I have to set it up on YouTube first and then use Streamlabs, or can I do everything through Streamlabs? I'm very nervous because I don't want to mess anything up and feel as if I wasted it. I might just do it on like if I do a casual live stream at the house, I might just do it through that way. But like I said, I'm doing everything with a voiceover on, so I'm very limited in what I can do. It's definitely 82. Okay. As far as whenever we start hear someone's going to Disneyland, the one thing we always say is you just have to make time, do everything, leave nothing untouched, nothing unturned. We've been so many times, and there's still so many things we still have not done. Um, it's incredible. It's just crazy how much. And then now they're changing so much more, which is it is what it is. Like I would just hope that I really hope that they would just stop changing so much and just leave it to where like 20 years from now our kids could take their kids and say, oh yeah, we used to do this and stuff like that. But like I mean, just the sheer fact that just the Disney that we go to now is not like I can't share that experience with my family now because so much has changed, especially here at Epcot. I mean, what was it? Horizons, um, old school interventions. I mean, there's so many things that are just completely. I mean, hell, you can't even get Dreamfinder anymore. Can we bring Dreamfinder back? All right, let me just go through this here. Really, John was at Disneyland for 20 years.
Yeah, I just read that.
That's
Love that for him.
yeah. I wish I could have put in 20 years. All right, so I think I caught up with the chat. So I'm gonna unplug this, and then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna let this view take your guys' breath away. Once again, as always, hold on, let me get turn off my voiceover here. There we go.
And all right, now we're gonna let this stream wind down. Didn't realize it was already 2 o'clock. It's been exciting and fun just sitting here for the long haul. As I said before, if you've enjoyed this live stream, if you've enjoyed our conversation, I appreciate all of you guys for sticking around for this. Like and subscribe. Hit that bell notification so you can be notified whenever we go live, which should be tomorrow. We should be live at the Magic Kingdom. I'm not going to put a timestamp on that because it's going to be a late stream because we're going to be there probably for the 3 o'clock parade, as our kids do have their rehearsals. So we're going to be at the park early, but I wouldn't expect us to actually go live until maybe lunchtime or so, give or take.
Yeah.
So be on the lookout for that. If not, if you don't get the notification, just keep refreshing in the midst of watching all the other streamers that'll probably be streaming it that day too. Anything else you want to add?
Nope.
Nope.
Thanks for showing up, hanging out.
Yep, thanks for showing up as always. Yeah, we had Tonio Tower here because they're neat. So yeah.
And Tiki Man, I saw Monique.
Did you see the Tonio Tower said she didn't get accepted for the program? And then it took her 3 hours to get to the park one time because she was riding the bus, the Lynx bus.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, she was stuck in I-4 traffic.
Oh my God, how dreadful.
Yeah, so, and I think we're trying to convince Tiki Man to go out to Disneyland and enjoy everything out there.
Has he never been?
I don't think so.
Oh,
So, yeah.
that's a crime.
Definitely a must do. Ooh, Stacy and the Must Do's. That's the other thing I wanted to sing. Stacy and the Must Do's. If you remember Stacy and the Must Do's here at Disney World, she was an integral part to your Walt Disney World vacation. If you didn't turn your TV on to what was the channel? Was it channel 3?
I don't know. In your room, in your hotel.
Yeah, in your hotel room, Stacy in your Disney hotel room, Stacy and the Must Do's. I think she still has a huge following. Didn't they bring her back? They wanted to bring her back, didn't they?
I feel like yes.
Yeah.
I follow her on Facebook, or I follow her on something.
Yeah, she probably, yeah, they probably, I mean, hey, check it out on YouTube. Stacy and the Mustoos. I mean, lifelong Disney fans will remember her throughout what, late 90s going to 2000s. Iconic. Simply, I mean, if she is not a, she should be a Disney legend before I Bob Iger is a Disney legend. I'll just say that. But with that being said, guys, we are going to call this a day. We're going to wind it down. Time is up here in front of Spaceship Earth. Like I said, stay tuned for tomorrow. Maybe I'll be popping in for a late night, not late night, a 9 o'clock live stream, doing some casual conversation. If you're in for that, check that out. No promises, though, as I obviously had technical difficulty the last night as well. Once again, I want to thank everybody that came through, everyone that liked it and chatted away. Like I said, we'll be here, Magic Kingdom Main Street. I'll probably be holding it down on my trash cam. And we will see you next time on This Time.